Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode here on the Vintage Oaks. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're shredding up some straw bales to use as bedding for the cows. Right now we only have 4 cows and a bull inside the shed, so we're not producing a large amount of manure just yet. But once we move the calves into the shed for winter, we'll start building up a good stock of manure and slurry, which we can then use for fertilising our fields. For September we earned 6,000 from selling our milk, and now that we've got plenty of hay stored from the previous episode, I'm thinking it's time to double up on our dairy herd. This will boost our milk production and give us a regular income, and as the cows calf we'll gradually grow the herd as well. So it seems like a smart move in the short term, especially with the limited funds we have to expand the farm and improve our finances. Now that we've moved into October, it's an exciting day because we're harvesting the maize silage. I don't know what it is about silage, whether it's driving alongside the chopper or building up the silage pit, but it's definitely one of my favourite jobs in Farm Sim. As you can see, we got all the gear out ready for action. We'll have a few hands helping out today. Dad will be on the chopper. His brother Joe will be down later, he'll be helping out with the carting. And a neighbour will lend a hand with the silage pit. So we'll be using the Matty 698 as the pusher tractor. I might struggle for power, trying to be pushing big loads of chaff around, but we'll stick the book rake on the front of the load all, and that'll help move the chaff around the pit. Right, we'll get set up here and I'll catch up with you shortly. We're on our way over to harvest field 113. Smallest field on the farm at just 1.6 hectares. Despite its size, it should provide ample silage for mixing with hay to make TMR to feed our cows throughout the year, as well as the calves during the winter until they can graze again next spring. See our largest cornfield to our left, which will be ready for harvesting next month. Although we initially planned to chop it for maize, we'll have sufficient silage from the smaller field, therefore we'll keep the larger field for feeding the pigs and the piglets expected in December. The yields might not be great this year since the soil needs improvement, especially in terms of nitrogen and pH levels, but we'll take care of that before reseeding next year. So, I see Dad is already in position and ready to go. We'll follow in behind him here and start on the headlands, likely to do 4 to give us enough space to manoeuvre when we tackle the up and down rows. As usual, we'll stick this into a montage and we'll catch up with you when we're all done. See you soon. Well, that went smoother than expected. You know what they say, many hands make light work. We rented this silo roller from the dealership for about £500 to help compact the chaff. I know the silo's at 100%, so it's ready to be blanketed and start off fermenting the chaff into silage. I'm really happy with the results. We just got over 200,000 litres in the silage bunker, which is fantastic given the lower nitrogen levels of our soil. With 190,000 litres of hay stored, we're set for mixing up total mixed ration when the time comes. Next up, we'll cover the bunker to kick off the fermenting process. Now with year 1 silage done and the pit covered, we'll give the chopper a much needed wash before we moving on to our next job. It's absolutely filthy from all that work. Once cleaned, we'll store it away for the rest of the year, as we won't need it again until first grass silage next April. After that, we'll make some hay from our grass field next July when the weather warms up for the second cut. Looking much better now. All cleaned, ready to be stored away. Dad and Uncle Joe are ready to start prepping the seed beds with the chain harrows. After that, we'll spread some lime to balance the soil's pH before we start seeding the winter barley. Before I get into liming though, I'm heading down to the animal dealer with a cattle lorry to pick up a few more cows. I'll catch up with you when I get there. Here we are at the animal dealer, ready to load up. I think we'll go with 5 milk producing Holsteins, which will double our milk production. 28 months old. Get 5 of those. That's going to set us back at 10,000. Right, that's them all loaded up. Let's get the lorry folded up and head back to the farm. Back at the cowshed now, and the new cows are settling into their new home. As we can see, our daily feed requirements for the new herd are almost 8,300 litres. We've got enough hay to last us until November, and by then the chaff will have fermented so we can start making TMR. That'll boost our milk production even more. But the spendings are not over yet. We're heading to the dealership to return the silo roller and check out a new piece of equipment. Let's get the lorry parked and we'll see you down there. We're at the dealership, dropping off the silo roller. Let's head inside and see what they got for us. Turns out they've got a Richard Weston trailer that just came in on a trade sale. It's about 3 years old and in pretty decent condition. No extra add-ons to keep the cost down, but it could be useful for transporting grain next year if we take on some harvesting contracts. For just over 5k, it's a solid deal. Right, let's bring it back to the shed and we'll get ready for some liming. Here we are, back at the shed with the Richard Weston trailer safely stored away from the elements until next year. Now we're just hooked up the lime spreader. Behind us you can see we've 8 big bags of lime, each holding 1,000 litres. We'll use the load all to load them onto the back of the lorry and park it down at the field to save time refilling the spreader while we're working. We estimate we'll need about 12,000 litres of lime to get the job done, and with the spreader holding 4,000 litres of lime, that'll mean 3 refills. We'll start by filling the spreader here from the lime silo to save the big bags for refills out at the field. Okay, I'll finish up getting the lime loaded onto the lorry and I'll catch up with you shortly. Now we're heading down to field 117 with the lime spreader. Not sure how long the job is going to take us, but hopefully we'll get most of it done before nightfall. After this we'll be moving into November and we'll start the corn harvest on the field here beside us. I'm excited to see what our yield returns will be, but what I'm really looking forward to is when we move into December, when the piglets arrive. I've never raised pigs before, especially when enhanced animals, so I've no idea how many we're expecting. Could be a surprise. What's really interesting to me is seeing our return on investment. I estimate we'll have about 100,000 worth of crops to use as pig feed. We'll know for sure after the corn harvest, but I'm curious to see if pig farming is really worth all the effort considering the feed requirements. Time will tell. We're all set up at the field now with the load all in the big bags of lime. We'll probably start on the up and down rows and finish up with the headlands. The spreader doesn't have a huge working width, so it's going to take us a while. I'll try capture some cinematic shots of the job and put them together in a nice montage for you. I'll catch up with you once we're finished, though I'm sure we'll be working well into the night. Well, that took a lot longer than expected. We ended up using almost double the estimated amount of lime, about 20,000 litres in total, which meant taking 2 trips back to the farm silo for refills. I'm guessing the extra lime is due to the precision farming mod, which likely increased the application rate. Now before I wrap up, I want to apologise for the gap in content over the past few weeks. Life has been pretty hectic and I just haven't had the time to focus on creating Farm Sim videos. Living in a busy household, I've realised that my best chance to record commentary is late at night, which makes it tough to keep up with regular uploads. So rather than leaving the channel without any content, I've decided to bring back some time-lapse videos. It's much easier for me to create those in the evenings, even with the usual family noise in the background. With only 7 weeks until the release of FS22, I don't think it makes sense to start a whole new series right now, so instead I'm planning to create some cinematic content focused on different maps that I've missed out on but always wanted to try. I know it's a bit random since it won't follow any specific storyline, but it'll give me a chance to explore these maps while also keeping the channel active until FS22 drops. For me, it's like counting down the days until Christmas, and I'm beyond excited for it. I'm especially looking forward to starting out with a fresh, clean, empty mods folder. This time I'll be more organised with different category folders to better manage the mods across the saves. If you haven't already, I highly recommend the FSG Mod Assistant for mod management. It's been a game changer for me. Plus the latest version already has basic support for FS22, which is absolutely fantastic. Anyway, that's enough rambling from me. Thanks for sticking around and watching today's video. If you had enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you already haven't. There's a lot more to come, and I can't wait to share the journey with you. Feel free to leave any questions or suggestions in the comments. I always love hearing from you, and until next time, take care and I'll see you in the next one.